Hey folks! So today I want to talk to you all about an amazing opportunity that I took advantage of. Hey folks, I was just editing this video and I realized that it was super long. It was going to be like 30 minutes. So I decided to break it down into 3 parts. This is part 1. I'll be putting out part 2 on Sunday and part 3 next Wednesday. So you can be sure to find all the information just in separate parts afterwards. Yeah, let's go. And here are the criteria. So, are you under 35 years old? Do you have like a decent-ish, kinda almost level of French? Have you done some university or have you completed university? Yeah, that's basically what it is. Under 35, have some university, and you're from a list of countries that I'm going to put up somewhere here. It's a pretty long list. Great. So if you fill that criteria, you have an amazing opportunity to live and work in France and to get paid working for not many hours a week. So this opportunity is the language assistantship. So the French government, the French Ministry of Education hires a couple thousand language assistants to work in several primary schools and secondary level schools all through France. And this happens every single year. The assistants work for a period of 7 months, so from October 1st, my birthday, to the end of April, and there's a possibility for one extension of 1 month until the end of May instead of the end of April. So I'm probably going to look down to my notes a little bit, but that's because this video is going to be information packed, so you guys can figure out if this is something that you should or if you can take advantage of. As I said before, I've done it, so I'm speaking from my own experience, and I think it was, I don't know, it's a real mixed bag of experiences. Almost every single assistant has a completely different, not a completely different, but has like a fairly different experience. So I'm going to speak about my experiences and the experiences of the people, the other assistants that I lived with while we were doing this program. So this program is also called TAPIF or TAPIF for the Americans, which I think like American English assistants represent like the bulk of the assistants each year. There are also like English assistants from Barbados, so Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean, I think from India as well as South Africa. There's Spanish assistants, Russian assistants, Chinese assistants, Portuguese assistants, Hebrew assistants, Turkish assistants, Dutch assistants. There's so many different assistants, but German assistants, but the majority of them, oh, I don't know if it's actually the majority or the most like vocal group of assistants, the American assistants. And for them, the program is called TAPIF, or TAPIF. So what's the job? I'm going to give you a very quick overview of the entire thing. In short, you work 12 hours a week at 1 or 2 or 3 different schools, and you work alongside English teachers as an assistant. And I will later in this video go through like how the assistantship might look different in different situations with different teachers. But in short, you get paid, your take-home pay is 780 euros or thereabouts. It changes a little bit depending on what part of France you're in and the taxes in that region. But it starts off like 900 and something euros, but in the end what you take home is 780, 85, 75, somewhere around there, it depends. I did this twice, and I think there was like a 5 or 10 euro difference. When I was in Strasbourg, I got about 10 euros less than when I was in Orléans, which is in like the center of France. And those are the academies. There's a huge application process which starts in October and it ends in January, which is why I'm putting out this video right now, so that if you still have some time, you can download the application document from the link down below, and you can apply, like figure out who is the person you need to get in touch with, and then you can apply to be an assistant. Failing that, maybe this is something for the future. You can start studying your French now so that you can get to the recommended or the requested B1 level by the time the next application process rolls around. So I don't remember what was the header of what I just started speaking about. I think it was like, what is the program, right? So in short, you work in a part of France for 7 months, working 12 hours a week with English teachers and English students. And you are there not to teach grammar or anything like that, but to pass on your culture as well as to get the students exposed to hearing English from a native speaker. So it's not just English, so hearing the language from a native speaker. So that's also another important part of it. You have to be a native speaker of whatever language it is that you choose to be an assistant for. Okay, so I'm going to save the work for the end of it because we already just spoke a little bit about the work part of it. I'm going to go back to firstly the application process, then housing, which you're required to take care of. Like, that's why you need to have at least a decent level of French, because you need to be able to get housing and to open a bank account and all these things. So, and then I'm going to talk a bit about the vacation, healthcare, and then we're going to talk about the work itself that you're going to be doing. So maybe some of you, you're like, 780 euros a month, hell no, I don't want that, that's too little money, whatever. But you're like, why is she still so excited about this? I'm excited about this because this program gives you not only free universal healthcare. I mean, it's not free, you pay taxes basically. But yeah, which I have in my country, Trinidad and Tobago. But I know that a lot of people in the US, like, it's completely different. They have to pay a ridiculous amount of money to access healthcare. So that makes it a little bit different. But even for me, like the healthcare available, the universal healthcare available in France compared to universal healthcare available in my country, big difference. Yeah, right. And apart from healthcare, maybe you have great insurance, so healthcare is like, I don't care. Healthcare, I don't care. Anyway, yeah. So perhaps what might be more intriguing to you is that over these 7 months, you actually have 2 months of paid vacation. Yo, that is amazing. That means that you can travel in France, you can travel in Europe, you can travel in North Africa, wherever you want to go to that is close by. Iceland, not so close by, but close enough. Yeah, so this is one of the huge perks of being an assistant, and I suppose of being a teacher in France in general. It's that every 6 to 7 weeks from September when school starts to, I think, the April vacation, every 6 to 7 weeks there's a pause for 2 weeks and you have vacation, paid vacation. So in the past, on these vacations, I have gone to Croatia, I've gone to like Champagne in France, I've gone to Austria. I really went all over. I had an amazing time traveling during these vacations. The thing is, being in Europe, travel is just so cheap, it's so affordable, it's so easy to get to do this. Flixbus, they're cheap flights, and I know that right now with the whole situation, like, things are kind of like at a halt, but I'm hoping that at least by next October, which is when I would be starting again, like, I'll get back to the application process, but when I'll be starting again, I'm hoping that things would ease up a little bit, and for the future, like, this isn't always going to be around, but because of the, like, EU agreements, and just because of how small Europe actually is, okay, it's like a billion times bigger than my island, but in general, like, compared to other places that people who are assistants come from, and just in the world in general, it's easy to get around in Europe. It's easy to go between states, especially in the EU or the Schengen area, where you don't need to show a passport. Well, sometimes you do, most times you don't. It depends what mode of transport you're using. But you can just show ID and then whoosh, you're into another country just like that, super easy. So that's one of the huge perks of it. And like maybe you want to backpack through Europe for 6 months, but you can't actually like afford it or something. So you just want to get the chance to see a different place and be paid to see another place. Okay, thanks for watching everyone. I hope you got some really good information here. And if you are interested in moving to France, having an amazing opportunity to work in France for 7 months, I think this is a great way to get to try out what it's like to be in France and just to have an amazing experience, to travel a bit and to improve your French language skills. You are going to grow so much from this opportunity. Be sure to check out parts 2 and part 3, which will be released like if they're done, or rather when they're done. I'm just going to put them as cards at the end of this video so you can click on part 2 and part 3. Thanks so much for watching, and please like this video. If you've reached this far, it must have been like interesting. It must have given you some information. So please give this video a like. I really appreciate it. Bye! À la prochaine!